I made a French video already, right? About time, the circularity of time and silence. But something told me like, man, you gotta do a video in English too because you ain't gotta starve the English audience for that, bro. French is good, but you gotta take care of everything and shit like that. But man, when I speak English, I cuss a lot, so that's why a lot of my English folks they be thinking like, nah, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. Let me tell you about the secret of yeah, let me talk to you about it. I just have an inspiration, y'all. Let me talk to you about the secret of not placing your happiness in anything or anyone. This maybe will go over a lot of people's heads, but let me repeat. I'm gonna talk to you about the secret of not placing your happiness into something or someone, especially if it is physical or external to you. Let me extend on that, right? Let me extend on that. We have a lot of people in our world when they are born, they grow up and they have their family telling them, or their school, or their church, or their friends, or their peers, or their co-workers, or anyone, just anyone telling them, life is about getting rich and doing this and doing that, but it depends on the culture you were raised on. For example, if you were raised in a culture that is driven by materialism, externalism, yes, you will hear that a lot. And by that I mean, happiness is about accumulating a bunch of stuff, because they provide you with status, and with that status, society will reward you for accumulating all this stuff and for having that status. And when society rewards you with further awards or further prizes or further favors, then you will know what is happiness. And sometimes, more often than not, society, because it is mostly blind itself, they don't really know how to reward a man that is the champion of their own game, of their own materialistic game. Yes, I said it right. Okay, for example, if you're living in a Western society or a Western country where, pretty much the whole Western bloc is governed by materialism, individualism, separatism. Everyone is separate. The family is just mother, father, and son. There is no big family. Everyone is individualistic. Every dog for itself. Yes, you will probably think that in order for you to reach a certain happiness or joy or fulfillment or satisfaction in life, you must accumulate a bunch of stuff. When I say a bunch of stuff, I'm talking about cars, houses, tools, gears, smartphones, clothes, all types of shit, bro. All types of shit. And if you work your ass off and you get those things, then you will realize, if you're still young, luckily, if you're still young and if you still have your mind working, you will realize that, damn, that wasn't it actually, because I have accumulated all that and I'm still not happy. So what's up now? Okay, let me tell you what's up. What's up is, you are not a physical being. You are a spiritual being. This is a timeless truth that is known everywhere in the world. Even if you're not religious, even if you're not spiritual, you will hear that somehow, somewhere, once in your lifetime, as a minimum. You are not a physical being, you are a spiritual being. That means you will never find fulfillment or satisfaction in things that are inherently material. And when something is inherently material, it is a finite thing. It is not infinite. It's finite. It can be destroyed. it can be modified easily, it can be cracked, sometimes they can be reversed and stuff like that. They are really um, manipulable. They are really manipulable, malleable, and most of these things don't really provide you with a deep sense of self-value. And if you make the mistake of projecting your inherent value as a spiritual being into these things that are just tangible things, I like to call them tangibles, then you will not be happy at all. You will be depressed, you will be sad, you will be unsatisfied, you will be insecure, because you place everything that is external to you above, yes, this is the word I was looking for, above your own infinite spiritual self, which is the true value that you will ever have, because it is infinite. All right. Now, if you weren't raised in a society that is materialistic, probably they taught you that the value of life is in maybe family, maybe morals. If you have morals, maybe they taught you that the center of life is in the practice of a religion. Because there are a lot of societies like that in Africa, in the East. Sometimes too in the West you will find some societies like that, but they are a minority. Yes, this is the word I'm looking for. They're not the majority. And these values, when you incorporate them as you grow up, will kind of make you feel smaller compared to another mindset or paradigm whose servants or whose practitioners display or showcase their material stuff. This sentence is kind of complex. Let me rephrase it in another way. If you were raised in a society where your value as a person is based on the practice of religion, and you have morals and family and stuff like this, and you don't really have a lot of material things, or you don't really care, more often than not you will face a lot of backlash, or a certain inferiority complex, or a certain sense of unfulfillment from the people that are materialistic and that display their riches for everybody to see. I've got this is what I am, this is where my value is. I've got a mansion, this is where my value is. I've got 100 supercars, this is where my value is. I've got $100 million in the bank, this is where my value is. Give me my respect, give me this, give me that. Of course, the work ethic and the discipline and the focus that it takes to achieve these things, to accumulate all these things for oneself, is kind of worthy of a solid credit, in my opinion, because the same society that will push you into materialism is the same society that will provide you with a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges, a lot of ordeals in order for you to not achieve these things. This is why when people achieve these things, more often than not, they are they're confident, yes, but this confidence is usually tainted with a hyper sense of narcissism, and that they think they can't do no wrong, or they can't be wrong, because they have accumulated all these tools and all these gears, and this is where their value is situated upon. You feel me? So, if you are watching right now, maybe you are part of one or the other paradigm, And maybe you are questioning yourself, maybe you're wondering, well, what should I do if I'm already rich and I want to switch to another paradigm because I'm not satisfied? Or maybe you don't have any material stuff in your life and it doesn't really matter for you, but you have realized that you can't really live like a monk your whole life, and you need material stuff to survive because it's also a material world after all. So let me tell you something. You have to find your inner wealth, your inner essence that is the source of all wealth. The source of all wealth in a man or a woman, or let me say in any human being, he's firstly his spirit and how he molds his own spirit. In other words, his subconscious mind, his mind and how he programs his subconscious mind, and also the discipline by which every man and a woman actions, not really actions, but activates their excellence. The discipline by which any woman or man activates their excellence, and what it is, and once it is activated, you just have to keep going, even if it hurts, even if it pains you, even if it saddens you sometimes. No matter what, you just have to keep going. Yes. So when you're faced with a cognitive dissonance that pushes you to be a certain way, but do certain actions that do not correspond to your state of being, sometimes you will feel like it's better you just give it all up to the world. Like if you have a lot of riches, you will feel like maybe I just have to just give it up and become materially poor again, or materially lacking again. This is not the answer. You don't have to just sell anything, just giving everything away and become like poor again. No, this is not the way. Also, if you are more inclined into spirituality than materialism, maybe you're thinking, oh, this stuff, this spirituality stuff or this religion stuff or my morals or my ethics are not really working for me because, I'm kind of, broken, stuff like that. Maybe I just have to throw it all away and adopt the lifestyle of the materialistic societies and people and stuff like that. This is also not the answer. The answer is you find the perfect balance that works for you. Depending on the mission you fix yourself or you set for yourself, you will have a certain amount of material wealth that you will allow yourself to achieve or to accumulate. Let me repeat that. Depending on the mission you set for yourself to achieve in the world or in your existence, there is an amount of wealth, material wealth, that you will allow yourself to get in order for you to materialize all these objectives, dreams and, goals and purposes and stuff like that. Not purposes, but goals, yes. And you just have to find this sweet spot, between being so greedy for material wealth that you lose your own sense of true self, you lose your own sense of authenticity, you lose your own sense of truth, your own sense of truth, like your individual truth. And this is not about narcissism, this is not about individualism. I mean, it is individualism, but not in the way of separatism. It's not a separatist individualism, not at all. On the contrary, it is a collectivist individualism. That is, you know yourself enough to place yourself in a position where you are able to activate certain parts of society by yourself alone with the wealth and the knowledge and the wisdom and the consciousness you have worked for. And when you are like this, what do they call you? They call you a powerful man in every traditions. They call you a powerful man in every traditions, in every society. They will call you, well, this man is autonomous, this man is self-reliant, this man is powerful. He has determined the fate that he wanted for himself. He had worked for it, and now he is able to take care of not only himself and his family, but also of the needy parts of society. Yes, that's a beautiful message. I mean, in my opinion, that I have freestyled for y'all. I hope you like it. I hope you take some notes. Even if you don't write it down, I hope you remember some stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna eat something now. Tell me good appetite. Until next time, y'all. Peace.